Greetings, this is Neriah Negus. Today we're going to be sharing with you and my student here, Zara, how to make a circle skirt. And this skirt we're going to be making today is a little bit different than the pattern we're going to be using. This is a pattern. And today we're going to be making a wrap circle skirt so that it is one size fits all. Okay, with a long waistband tie. It can be wrapped around your waist several times. So let's begin. First thing, we need to figure out what tools we're going to be using. So today the tools we need are going to be a pattern, a pin cushion, scissors, tape measure, and I like to use this clear acrylic ruler. It's great for straight edges, and I also have a cutting mat right here on the table. We also have two different types of sewing machines and an iron, of course. Irons are very important. But this one is called a serger, which does finishings and special hemlines, and it's great for putting together garments to get that extra finished look. And this one is just a regular sewing machine, which is great for straight stitching, back stitching, all the basic stitches that we need when we're making garments and putting things together in our sewing. And of course we need fabric, right? We need lots of fabric. This skirt requires about 3 yards of fabric, so we've already cut out 2 of our pieces for our skirt. We're on the final one, and what we have is the pattern is laid out on top of our skirt bottom. And so with a pattern, you have different markings on your pattern. Some markings, like this one over here, mean to put your fabric, to place this piece of pattern on top of your folded fabric. So this is a fold line right here. The fold line is running along this edge, and this part of the pattern lets us know this is where we have our fold. This over here is the waistband, top of the waistband, and this is our edging, and then we have marks here to let us know where to line up the top of the waistband. Okay? So patterns are fairly simple when you understand what all the markings mean. So we've lined up our pattern onto our fabric. Now we're going to, we cut it because we had to cut that before. So now we're going to remove the pins because that's important. You want to pin your fabric and your pattern together so you can get that nice clean edges and your pattern and fabric don't move. So go ahead and remove those pins, Zara. Put them right back into our pin cushion, and we're going to move our pattern away. And here we have it. We have our beautiful skirt piece ready to go. And for the waistband, we are going to use this pattern piece right here. Okay, and I did make my waistband a little bit larger, and that's the thing with patterns. You can use it as a base, but it doesn't have to be your only, you don't have to follow it exactly. You can add to it, you can take from it. So this is my pattern. This is going to be the center of my waistband. And in order to make my waistband nice and firm, I'm going to add interfacing. And what interfacing is, this is interfacing right here. So this provides firmness to our waistband so that it will stay nice and upright on your waistline there, and it won't roll over. So with this type of interfacing, we would put down a press cloth, and we're going to press it using a steam iron because this will stick to the fabric underneath it, and we want to make sure we're on the wrong side, because if we glue it to the right side, we're gonna be in trouble because we're gonna need that side to show on the outside of our garment. So we would press like so for 8 to 10 seconds per section. Okay, this is what we would do, but I've already done it. So it's stuck to the fabric, and it's quite firm. It's made this fabric really tough to an extent. So what we're going to do now, the next step, since we have all of our pieces cut out, we are going to put them together. And what's important about pinning fabric together when you're going to hem it together or sew it together is that you want the fabric to be front to front. You want to place your fabric right side up. So this is my right side, and I'm going to find the right side of my other piece and place it right side down so that the right sides or the front sides of the fabric are facing each other. And then we're going to pin it. We're going to pin it so that the sewing machine, when I get to the sewing machine, it's real easy to sew and nothing moves around. So we'll put 2 pins in there, nice and easy. Boom. So that's attached, and we'll go to the other side of our waistband and connect the other piece. Our skirt really only has 6 pieces, 3 on the bottom, 3 in the waistband. So that makes it quite easy when putting together this garment. So let's find the front. This is the front. And let's see, this is the front, okay? You want to put in a pin, Zara, for me? Very good. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so our waistband has been pinned and now we're ready to take it to the machine. Let's do the same thing with our skirt bottom. So this is one piece of our skirt. And it looks like, right, this is the right side. So this is the right side of our skirt. So we're going to just pin along here once we place our other skirt pieces on top. Yeah. So this is the right side. This is the wrong side. So we want to make sure always we have right side to right side. Because if you go through and you sew it and you realize wrong side to right side, you're going to have to redo it. And that's not fun. So let's do it right the first time, right? Zara's going to pin for me. And I like the way she's pinning. She's putting the pin head on the outside of the garment. So as we go to bring it to the machine, it's real easy to pull out just before we get to it. Because we never want to stitch over a pin. You always want to remove the pin before you start stitching because it will mess up your machine. Make sure you get both sides of the fabric. We want both sides of the fabric to be in. We want it to be really lined up. It's important that the edges of the fabric are lined up. Otherwise, we're going to get a crooked hem. There you go. Perfect. Well done, Zara. Okay, and there we have all of our pieces put together. You can see the holes here. This is where it's been pinned. So now we're going to take it to the machine and we're going to put it together. Okay, so now we're ready to sew our 2 waistband pieces together. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're on the serger. And this serger has many different dials, lots of little switches over here. But what you need to know about the serger is that it's going to give us a nice clean finish. So once we put the stitch in, we're pretty much done with putting these 2 pieces, this waistband together. And the serger is very quick and it's a very powerful machine. It also cuts the fabric as we sew at the same time. So I'm going to serge and then I'm going to remove the pins as I come to them. So I'm going to hand you the pin cushion. So when I hand you the pin, you put it in the pin cushion, okay? Here we go. You want to make sure you always hold your fabric straight as you're pushing it through the machine. And you don't really want to push it. You let the machine pull it for you because it will do that. Let's make sure you stay straight and you get a nice clean edge. And we're done. It's been, this is the edge, nice clean line. With the serger, you always want to leave some extra on the machine and off of your fabric. And it can always be stitched in later. So, boom, nice and firm, nice and secure. Okay, so our waistband has been all put together. Now let's work on the circle skirt part. So it's over there. Let's put it on the machine. So we're going to find the top of our skirt. I'm just going to place it into the serger. Put it about 1/4 of an inch hanging off so we can cut off a tiny bit, maybe even 1/8 of an inch. A little bit. Okay. And here we go. Just want to make sure we cut our fabric underneath, and we did. Right there. It's all caught. Okay. So when I come to a pin, I'll hand it to you. Here we go. Okay, here's your pen. Thank you. Okay, just pick it up. another one. Thank you. And we're almost at the bottom. All right. We've made it to the end. Nicely hemmed. Okay. So we've sewn our pieces, our skirt pieces and our waistband pieces together. Now we're going to connect, using pins, our skirt to our waistband so we can bring it to the serger and finish them up. So what we're going to do, I started with the middle. I like to start in the middle to know where my middle will lay so it's nice and centered. Then we're going to continue pinning around the edge. So we just line it up with the edge of our lining, our interfacing. And it's going to keep curving it around the edge of our, the edge of our skirt top, connecting the waistband to the skirt. But pinning is very important so our fabric doesn't move. Can you come off of this a little bit? So our fabric doesn't move when we get to the machine. Okay, we've made it to the edge of our skirt. I'm going to finish up on this side. And then we'll bring it to the machine. We'll show you when we're on the machine. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hem my open side of my skirt and the bottom of my skirt. And I'm choosing to do this before I attach my waistband, so I'll have a nice clean edge on the open side of my skirt before my waistband goes on. So a rolled hem is going to give me a really tight finish and I won't have to fold it, and I'm just going to go ahead and serge it. So can you see that? It's nice and finished and it's really clean looking. The stitch moves very slow, so we have to just be patient and just take our time with it. Make sure you get it straight as you're cutting it. This machine also cuts as it sews, so it's very important you get lined up really nice. So we have gone ahead and hemmed our skirt bottom with this fancy rolled hem, and we've also gone along the sides where our skirt is going to be open because we are making a wrap skirt. We're not going to have a zipper, and we're going to have an open side. So now we're going to attach the waistband to the skirt itself. And I'm going to be using the serger, and I'm going to do a 4-thread, what they call 4-thread serging. 4-thread serging. So here we go. And I'm going to hand Zara the pins, and this is going to secure the waistband to the skirt. You want to make sure as we're sewing that it's lining up nice and neat and our fabric is flat. Because if we sew over ripples, we're going to get ripples that we don't want. A couple seconds, every couple centimeters, you want to check your fabric because you don't want to have to go back and fix it. Step by step, little by little, until we get to the edge of our skirt. Then we've attached our whole waistband. But we've made it to the end. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Pull out the whole skirt. And we can see that it's attached right here. This is the seam line. See that? Yeah. Yeah, nice and neat. So now we're going to take our waistband and we're going to fold it down and close it up. And then we're pretty much done. We are now ready to iron down our waistband to get it nice and neat. This is the waistband unfolded. And what we want to do is we want to create a nice clean edge. So we're going to fold the outside, and so we're going to fold that in using our iron, press it down. Okay. And then we're going to fold this in half. We want it to match right along the edge we just seamed, where our waistband and our skirt matches. So we're going to fold it till it meets right there. We don't want to go past. Then we're going to press it down again to get it nice and neat. Okay. Okay. So once that is pressed down, we are going to pin it down so that it stays in place. Pinning is always important. Why? Why is pinning important, Zara?
So you can keep your fold.
Right.
So it doesn't get messed up.
That's right. So it keeps your fold in place and your fabric in place also. Very good. Okay, so our waistband is folded over. I'm going to work on, excuse me, honey, I'm going to work on the strap, or the waistband strap that will wrap around and be our tie. Just going to press it so it's nice and flat. So with this part of the waistband, I have a little trick I like to do. With this edge, I'm going to sew it right side to right side. I'm going to go all the way down this seam here, and then I'm going to flip it. I'm going to turn it inside out, so then my finished product will look just like this, but the hem will be on the inside. It'll be nice and hemmed right here, opposed to sewing it on the outside. So my stitch will be invisible to the eye. Yeah, it's a little trick I like to do. But first we're going to go to the straight machine, the regular sewing machine, and we're going to go ahead and stitch our waistband to make it nice and secure. Okay, I'm going to take my time, make sure my lines are straight. Let's check our work. It's clean. Let's keep moving. You always got to make sure your stitch on the other side is nice and neat. Otherwise, you're going to have to take it out with your seam ripper and do it again. Let's check. We're almost to the end. I'm going to leave a little bit open because I have this technique I want to do with this rest of the waistband. So I'm going to come off. I'm going to grab this nice little cutter on the side of the machine. Cuts the thread. Okay, so I'm finishing up the end of my waistband belt, inside out basically, and then I'm going to flip it right side out. Okay, so that's all sewn up, and let me show you how I flip it. So I'm going to take this opening here, this little opening that I left. Here it is. Okay, the opening that I left from the waistband, I'm just going to push the whole belt through. And as I'm pushing it through, you're going to see the seam is on the inside, but it makes a nice, clean, hemmed finish on the outside. Okay, so now we're finishing up our belt on our waistband. We're doing the very end. I'm going to go forward, I'm going to do a back stitch, and then go straight down. Down, do a back stitch. There we have it, nice and neat. Okay, I'm going to trim off my strings, and we have completed our circle skirt.
Yay!
Let's show it to you. This is it. The waistband. Okay, so this is the final circle skirt, the final product, as you can see it. Full circle with the wrap and the belt tie in the back. Just one size fits all. Okay, thank you so much to my student for participating and helping me teach her and you how to make a circle skirt. Thank you so much for watching. This is again Neriah and Negus and how I make a circle wrap skirt. Thank you. Bye-bye.